Red alert, everybody. Did a Republican gubernatorial candidate just leak a Republican master plan for ending the midterm elections? If that question makes your blood boil, sends a shiver down your spine, or just makes you really want to punch something, possibly a saggy-faced used liposuction bag of a president, listen up. Leaked audio suggests a plan may be afoot, and American voters need to prepare to go to the polls, possibly with a pitchfork. To quote all the president's men, it's only the future of American democracy on the line. And it's next on The David Reddish Show. Welcome to the show, you beautiful viewers. I am your host, reminding you to subscribe to our channel now if you have not. The midterm elections approach, as you know. And no doubt, as you also know, Donald Trump has spent much of his second term doing his best to undermine and force Americans to lose faith in our elections system. From constantly trying to rehash his loss to Joe Biden in 2020, to threatening to deploy ICE troops to polls during the midterms to prevent voter fraud, a phenomenon dismissed as minuscule in every major study, Trump seems to hate the system that put him in power. And for someone who constantly labels his critics communists, he has a real love of Stalinist behavior. Take a look.
As the president continues to undermine public trust in U.S. elections, this morning the administration is offering shifting explanations for why the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, was at the scene of that FBI raid of a Georgia election center. That extraordinary operation, seizing 700 boxes containing ballots and other materials related to the 2020 election. Part of President Trump's effort to use the Justice Department to investigate his false claim that he won Georgia in 2020. Gabbard told congressional Democrats she was there because the president requested it. But Trump now says his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, wanted Gabbard there on site at the Fulton County Elections Office.
She took a lot of heat 2 days ago because she went in at Pam's insistence. She went in and she looked at votes that want to be checked out from Georgia.
While the White House is dismissing concerns over its shifting narrative, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee says it matters, saying it's reminiscent of Nixon and Watergate.
Creepy, right? Well, this whole mess just hit a new level of fever pitch. Stick around. You will be happy to know that here too courts have blocked Trump's attempts to nationalize elections or encroach on states' abilities to manage them. Deploying ICE troops would also be illegal. Furthermore, the SAVE Act, the one piece of legislation Trump actually seems to care about, which would allow pollsters to turn voters away, is dead in the Senate. By the way, beautiful viewers, when someone says, "But you need ID to buy alcohol or fly on a plane," kindly remind that person that air travel and booze are not legal rights enshrined in the Constitution like voting. So unless the federal government is going to provide free government ID to all citizens, demanding voter ID is not legal. But as usual, I digress. Now this story has taken a chilling twist. Georgia Republican gubernatorial nominee Rick Jackson was caught on a hot mic saying this about plans for Election Day. Pump up the volume and have a listen.
Jackson, Rick, how are you doing? So glad you won that primary.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was tough.
I'm hoping you win the general.
Yes, sir. We got to.
I think the Democrats are going to cheat.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have people watching out for it.
Yeah. Trump's got federal troops. Can you call up against the federal troops from Trump?
Well, we get National Guard. Governor Kemp is going to watch it for us.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's going to get the National Guard.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care. Hi, how you doing?
The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which published that audio, further elaborates on the situation. Pressed about Jackson's remarks about Trump and Governor Brian Kemp, the Jackson campaign told the AJC Jackson never, quote, suggested deploying troops at polling places, close quote, and that he trusts Kemp to run safe and secure elections. Quote, "We've proven for multiple cycles now that it's easy to vote and hard to cheat in Georgia elections," close quote, a spokesperson from the governor's office said. Quote, "The same will be true this cycle. We are approaching this upcoming election with the exact same way we have in the past," close quote. A spokesperson for Governor Kemp had no comment. The news comes as Democrats are preparing dozens of legal challenges should Trump, Kemp, or any other governor try to interfere with the elections by deploying the military. Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is also pushing legislation that would block any attempt to use troops at polling sites. So, the plot thickens. Normally, I would dismiss this kind of bluster as just that, but after January 6th, I have a hard time doing so. Moreover, I don't know that President Strokey Britches has the foresight to understand what deploying the military to polls would actually do in this country. Americans across the political spectrum would protest, and the chaos would, at the very least, doom his political legacy. For that matter, Trump, at this point, seems more preoccupied with gluing plastic gold to the Oval Office than he does with public policy. Thus, I expect him to spend Election Day snoozing in a chair, waking up only to tweet as Democrats retake government and end our current nightmare. And regardless of what happens, my beautiful viewers, vote. Vote by mail, vote at the polls. All of this bluster is intended to intimidate voters, to telegraph to all of us that our votes do not count, and that President Necksnatch can do whatever he wants to do. This fall, let's remind that son of a bitch who he actually works for. I'm David Reddish.